Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Gray Man Prepping. It is time for Tactical Tuesday. We'll talk tactics, gear, and more. And tonight's topic, RVs for prepping. And how is everybody doing out there? Let's get over here. Hold on. 42 comments. Let's get over here and see what's going on over here. All right, first one in was Aiden, followed by Phelan Clan Wolf. Then Crew 1351. Geeky Gardens came in next, and Daniel Berry Sports Highlight, followed by Sassy Girl Prepping. L-Dog is in the house. And I know there's a couple more here as we get going down there. Everybody's saying hi. Diana's in here. Yeah, everybody's saying hi, hi, hi. All right. Oh, all right, we got 10 people watching, according to the number right up here on my screen. Which means there are a few people lurking. Lurking is fine. Oh, and I forgot to change the banner from this morning one. So, hang on, let me get that changed up. And we'll just throw up that one there. All right. So, back up here, that up, make sure that stays there. Okay, so tonight's topic, some people are going to be going, ooh, ooh, ooh. Others are going to be going, really? Well, yeah, it's a controversial subject, and I'll tell you where it came from. It came from novels. I follow several authors and get their books off of Amazon for my Kindle and froze. And in going through and looking at several of these different ones, this one popped up. I never looked at it. I kind of looked at the thing and it's like, no, I don't want this one doesn't interest me. And Shady Hill Homestead's in the house. But and I'll tell you why as we get into this. It's part of the drawbacks. There are positive aspects of having an RV for prepping, and some drawbacks. And one of the reasons why I didn't get the book was part of the drawbacks. But anyways, let's get over here and bring up this one here. And I'm going to play around here just to see how well. Okay, it doesn't totally wipe out the thing there if I move myself up. Let's see what the next screen shows here. Nope, it's going to block that. So I'm going to have to go back down to this one. There we go. All right. For prepping, there are several things to consider in why you want to have one. There are two types of RV lifestyle, type 1, type 2, and I'll go into those. And there's seasonal, type 1, type 2. And I just had a major brain fart. All right, so in type 1, if I remember, oh shoot, I forgot to write the note down because I did it all a couple days ago, and I had notes down on a piece of paper here. It got lost. I forgot to put them in the screen here. All right. Type 1 is RV lifestyle is you're in the you don't have a home. No, type 1, you do have a home, but you do RV lifestyle quite a bit. You're out traveling on the road quite a bit. Type 2, you do not have a home. All you have is the RV. And so the RV lifestyle is, yeah, you have a home, but you're hardly ever there. You may be renting, letting your kids stay there or whatever else, but you're out, basically for most part, you're out going around, you're retired type, person going around just doing the RV lifestyle, or you're working remotely and you're able to work from the RV no matter where you're at, with a satellite hookup of some sort. Seasonal travel is, for type 1. We have one here in the chat who goes and leaves his state, goes to the state where a relative's at, seasonally goes up there every year and then goes back down to his state. He's type 1, he has land, but he goes up to get away from the heat. Now that can be reversed, just the opposite. Those who own land and live in the northern states do the seasonal traveling in the winter, where we're heading south. And this is why he doesn't come up in the wintertime. He only comes up in the summertime. And people up in the northern states, they like it up there in the summertime, but come wintertime and stuff, it's like, okay, we're heading south to visit Texas, Florida, Arizona, Southern California, and they migrate south for the winter. So that's one of the types of RV lifestyle, traveling people that use their RVs a lot. And there's several ways to do it. RV only. You drive wherever you go to and you take care of stuff. RV with towed vehicle. I've seen a lot of these when I'm heading back to California to bring more stuff out here to Idaho. I'll be driving along 80 and I pass all these RVs towing a smaller car behind it, like a Suzuki, a Jeep, a crossover of some sort. And, so basically they go wherever they're going. They rent a spot at a RV trailer park or whatever, or a campground. Like if they're going up to Yellowstone, they rent the campground, they pull in, park the RV there, and use the car to drive all over Yellowstone and come back every night. There's a lot of people to do that. Then there's the one where they, which is more of the I don't know what this would be, more seasonal or RV lifestyle, where they go with two vehicles and the RV. So they have one, they're towing one, they're traveling, other person's driving the second one, either a bigger or a smaller one than what's being towed. And they have wherever they go to, they camp, like they're camping there for a month. That's the one thing. And so they can go places together, or they can go places separately, which sometimes married couples want to go some places separately. There's this boutique thing going on down in the town over here where they got all this peddler's fair selling all these neat things and crafts and stuff. I'm going to go down there Saturday. Husband's going, they got a horse show going on over here, or there's something else. I'm going to go over here. And they go different directions. And that's one way they keep the peace in the family. But, they always come back to the RV at night and like that. So that's some of the ways people get RVs and use it. And of course, if they're traveling around, they better be prepared. They better be prepping in it. They better have food stores in there, emergency kits, repair stuff for the RV and stuff, proper jacks and stuff if they need to. I have seen some RVs where they've down the side of the road. They're jacking it up, they're taking the tire off because they got a flat tire. They throw it in the back of either a towed vehicle or trailing vehicle, and off they go to get the tire repaired, rather than calling to have someone come out and service them at a lot more money. But yeah, they better be prepared for certain things. One of the things that I don't do on this one next. Let's see what the next one is. Okay. One of the things that's interesting, my friend Ben Gilmore has a tow behind trailer, and his channel is Minuteman Solar, and that's what he does for a living, is installing and selling solar systems. And one of the people around here that has a big RV got him to install on top of their RV a solar system. So up on top, hang on, let me switch this one here. Yeah. So like up on top here, other hand, they mount a rack that is designed for going on top of RVs and trailers, and it's covered with solar panels. And that way they don't have to use the generator, spend the expenses on gas, generator, the noise and stuff. And so at night, they're covered. Also during the daytime, they can run the AC unit and keep the RV cool. So when they come back from going around, checking out the sites and stuff, they come back to an RV that's cool and not a hot sauna. So that's some of the things I've seen people do with their RVs. All right, let's go to the next one here. So prepping for SIP, that's sheltering in place. That can happen for a number of reasons. This morning, about 3:35, the power went out here all over the place in Idaho, because we had I forget what the name. Kaylin calls it. Begins with a D, Soro or something like that. High speed windstorm that comes through, and this thing was insane. I mean, it woke me up at 3:30, and I think at 3:50 the house was vibrating, and the wind was blowing, and it was just like the freight train was driving down the street instead of on the tracks half mile away. And it was just really loud, and then boom, power goes out. You go, okay, I should have seen that one coming. I just figured some power lines were blowing, and they touched and shorted and tripped that circuit and stuff. Well, so my daughter kind of wished that she had, that my travel trailer sitting over there was all set up and had propane tanks on and stuff, so she could have taken the kids out into there, because with power out, the furnace doesn't work. And that way she could have turned on the propane heat furnace in the trailer. Trailer has batteries in it, and she could have done that. But I'm working on it, and it's a project, and it's an ongoing project until I have a chance to get it fixed up. And one of the things, that would have worked. It was like sheltering in place. You could go out there, turn it on, be nice and toasty warm, and not worry about it getting really cold in the house. Yeah, exactly. Sassy girl. It's I think you gotta have you gotta make sure you're prepped with all your tools, everything you need. It's basically like a second home. You got to have, all your pots and pans, your silverware, plates, dishes, everything you're going to want in there, and put it in there. Jack says he's got one panel on the roof of his van, but he needs to update it. I wish you could pull a small trailer, but it has an oversized gas tank and no room for a trailer receiver. Ouch. So having one to shelter in place has a lot of advantages. And some other reasons for shelter in place is like, it says temporary power outage. Yes, power was out for, Okay, it went out about 3:35 in the morning, came on almost 12 o'clock. So it was out for 8.5 hours. So yeah. Other, home damage is another one. And it's not actually, these can be considered not actually shelter in place if you want, but because shelter in place could do for other things as well. But if your home gets damaged, a tree falling on it, branches, whatever, lightning strike to the house, other things that would cause the home to be not currently habitable. So basically, you're just moving into the RV for an extended period of time until repairs can be done to the home. Then, of course, there is the famous bugging out, which that I said in the beginning about the novel. That's what it was. They were bugging out a whole bunch of RVs, bugging out from one location and trying to make their way across the country to a different location during a major SHTF event. And to me, that's kind of impractical if you're trying to bug out during a major SHT event with a caravan of RVs. To me, in my experience, that is like saying, "Hey, we're a target. Come get us." And Shady Hill Homestead is here. So bugging out is a possibility, but if you're planning on using it on bugging out, you better use the RV a lot at other times so you know all the quirks and problems of your particular RV. There are problems in it. One of the problems that they can have is the amount of fuel you can carry, and the amount of fuel these big boys suck up, and even the small ones, But Jack was saying that, like, for his van, he can get over 400 miles on a tank of gas, which means as you're going along, you don't want to wait until you are empty. Once you hit the 50% mark, you want to stop and get fuel. So you need to have everything planned out. If you're going from point A to point B for your bug out, several places along the way where you can stop and get fuel if power is still functioning for those gas stations to be able to pump fuel. The other thing here is people consider it bugging out, but it's a little bit different, and that's relocating short term. Example was Steve, of course, their trainers when the big fires were burning in his area down there in Southern California. He we're got time to go relocate to our son's place, so they loaded up stuff and they went to the son's place and stayed there for a week. And all right, you can come back. The fire didn't burn your house, so they came back, and all was good with the world. And then there's relocating long term, and other people had to the last big fires they had down there, um, that burnt whole neighborhoods out down there, and people were leaving, and there were a bunch of RVs and travel trailers leaving with the people, and so they had to go somewhere else to relocate for a while. Of course, then so their houses did get burnt, so they had to relocate for a while, and then they had to work with the local government to be able to come back and even to stay on their own property with a trailer, because you know the demon rats of LA were going, oh no, we don't want you to do it. That's going to bring down property values. It's like, wait a minute, the entire neighborhood's burnt. How's staying in a trailer they're going to bring down property values? And people had to sue the city to be allowed to be back on their properties with their trailers or RVs and stay there. John says generator will provide enough power for fuel pumps. So, also, if your gas stations are Indian run, good luck on it being closed. Yeah. Thing is, though, not all. I mean, I don't know of hardly any gas stations, unless it's a big truck, one like Love's or Pilot, that has a generator to keep operating when the power goes out. Most gas stations don't have generators on them. And if you're talking about using your generator to power their pumps are generally an industrial voltage out there that the most home generators won't match, either 277 volt or 480 volt, because it's cheaper to run those voltages than it is to run 120 or 240 voltage. all of your where are you at, John? Because all your local gas stations have generators. That's unusual, because generally to get a generator to run the pump system, it's got to be pre-wired in and everything else, and that takes a lot more paperwork and bureaucracy to get that approved. Yeah, to get a phase converter is expensive. If you're going from 2-phase, 3-phase, and you're trying to go from one phase 110 or 120 or 240 to 3-phase, takes a inverter that is significant, because we put some of those in some of our job trailers when I worked for Mountain Cascade to run off the 8,000 watt generators, the power stuff, and those boxes were a couple $1,000s at the time, and this was back in the 80s and 90s. So he's open no matter what. Sounds like he's down there where Waffle House is at. Oh no, he's up north in the snowstorms. Yeah. Well, yeah, if he finds it worth the while, then it's good for him. And yeah, Sassy Girl, that could be the other thing too. Gas could be rationed, or they're just not selling to anybody that's not local. If you're driving through and you're not local, they're saying, sorry, we are the sheriff has ordered us to only sell to locals. And they can just say that, not actually be true, but they can say that. In the South. Huh. Okay, you are in the South. Okay, yeah. Oh man. But yeah, there are but if you are relocating long term in an RV, yeah, you may need to, there may be problems going with it. One of the things that also can be done, that some of the ones down in LA were doing, they were having to leave every other day or something to dump their holding tanks, fill up their water tank, and fill up the fuel, whether it was propane, diesel, or gasoline for their generator, and then coming back to their property. And so it was leaving and going and coming back. So that's one of the problems on that. I don't think I have anything else after this. Yeah, no, I don't. Okay. So yeah, it's one of the things to consider. Now, these come in all sorts of different shapes, sizes, and things. So let me get this down. And I don't need that up, so I'm bring this over here. And go over something here with you. Types of RVs. Let's see if I can find something. Okay, this one looks like it might. It's small, dang it. And that doesn't even have all. Let me see if I can bring up some images to of the good ones here. Where is it? Where is it? There we go. Save it there. Okay, this should open up here. Okay, so let me bring this open. There we go. So, you got a camper van, well, like Jack has. I'm not going to bring that one up, John, but yeah, you're right. Then there are Class B plus, Class C, Super C, Class A, and there's several in the Class A size. Let me see if I can get another one up here for you guys to look at here. Yeah. Let's see. That's not. I'm not going to see it. I mean, so you got your camper vans, and then you got then you have your pickup conversion. You pickup of camper on it, but you have your pickup body with a built-on camper RV on it. Your van conversions, which can have expandable stuff on it or not. Then you have your B's and C's. Then you get up to the A's. The A's can have. Let's see. Let's bring some. See if I find a. What does this one have? That one just still has that. Come on. There's A, B, and C, different ones, and that can't. This one's wrong. This is not a B. That's not big enough for B. That's a C as well. Where are the types of it? Trying to find the one that had all the classes on it. But yeah, because there are. All right, here we go. This is a Class A. Here's a Class A, similar to what's behind me, but the one behind me, even though it has the same paint job, has 3 axles on it. And then there are some that are even bigger. And let's see if I can bring this up. RVs for Prepping, Prepping. See if it brings it up here. Then you start getting into, where are the big ones here? Oh, yeah, they also have bus conversions as well. But they're not showing the good ones. It was showing on the other one when I was looking up stuff. CLA Class A. They're not showing the military truck conversions. See, that one brings it up. Here we go. Starting to get the ones that are been converted from four-wheel drive military type stuff. Yeah, some of the others have been converted into RVs. If you're really into prepping and you want to do something like that, they got those. And you got the ones here that have the really off-road ones. You know, the Terra Travelers. This is one made by Plan B out of Provo, Utah. They took a Hammett and converted it, but there are different monster ones. There's the big one, yeah, 5 axles on that baby. But yeah, there are a whole bunch of different ones and ways to do RV camping. Now this is one that is a total conversion. This is not a removable one on it, and neither is this one here. And Steve, Tina, Jules in the house here. But some of these are out there for those that are just they don't want a big Class A, and they want to rough it a bit, but they want to be able to get in and out of any situation they get into. So there are advantages and disadvantages to each and every one of these types out here. And that's something you're going to have to do your own research on, because I can't tell you what's going to be best for you, because I don't know exactly what all you want. So you're going to have to figure out what type of thing is going to be best for you. Is it going to be Class C RVs? Is it going to be these? These are Class C. This is getting up to Class B because of weight size. But this is a Class C. This is a Class C. Camper vans are Class C. And then you start, even the pickups and the pickup conversion ones are considered Class C. But then you start getting up into the the Class B start getting a little bit bigger and weight wise, and they're mixing them up again. But it's done by weight and size on it. And then of course the Class A's we went over already for the big ones. Yeah. 6x6. Okay. Yeah, I ate in here. There are lots of options of ones you can get and look at. Sometimes a good use one is worth it in the long run for expenses and stuff. Other times you may want to go with the big fancy one. But what you got to look at the interiors, what's in them, and see what package you want on them, to whether or not it's something you want to get, whether you're going to be doing the RV lifestyle or you're looking for something that is for prepping. And hang on, And sometimes a lot of people select something like this red one here. It's a converted van. It's got a pop-up roof on it, like the old original Volkswagen Vanagons. So you have more headroom in there and stuff. So you just got to figure out, what it is you want, how it's going to work for you. And there are several channels out there. Let's see if I can find some of them here for you. There is. Come on. Come on, YouTube, load your blank screen. It's getting videos instead. I mean, movie videos instead of. Let's hit the. Where's the channels? Channels. Boom. There we go. Oh, there. Here's the one. All right. This is one here. 3 for the road RV. Yeah, they only have 262 subscribers, but they're basically a pair of grandparents. And there we go. Hang on, I didn't want. Yeah, the grandparents and the granddaughter, and they're a full-time RV family. And there are several others. Let's see. Van Li. Essentials. No, just van life. There are several channels out here that talk about doing just a simple van life on it. Oh, they took an old school bus and converted it. But yeah, there are different ones out there, and they talk about the positives and negatives, the challenges of their type of lifestyle. So let me go ahead and get rid of that. There we go. And yeah, so yeah, like I said, the brutal truth about van life. Watch this before you start. And there are several of them that are talking about the troubles they go through and what they would do differently. And Vanessa Kitty's in the house. So if you're thinking about RVing, let's just see. Well, there are other channels out there. RV Life. One day. This video is one day ago. It says America's RV market has collapsed. 15 RVs are now worthless, and it goes through different ones and stuff. So now may be the time to buy one if it's collapsing. So there's different channels and stuff. Wild RV Life, different ones about it. So yeah, they're out there. Yeah. So and like I said, they talk about the drawbacks on it. RV living, 4 hard truths you can't ignore going out. So that's some of the things to consider about it if you're going to do it full time. But if you just want to have an RV, class B, C, or A, whatever, for the occasional going out and doing stuff part time, that's the things to look at. Personally, having driven big equipment, had a Class A commercial driver's license, I don't want one of these big ones. It's just they're too hard to get around in, and something smaller like a large C or a small B classification might be something I might want to try, but not now. Not at my time in life. But those are things you got to think about for yourself. Is this something that is an option for you? Just to have for emergencies, and occasionally family trips. One of the things they talk about, oh, this is really good. Okay, there you go. There's a recommendation right there of a channel to watch. And Jack said, my van, he likes his van. It fits under standard parking, fits in a standard parking space. Just wish it was a few inches wider. Yeah. So there are things out there to consider on it and what you want to do. So those are choices you have to make. Before you buy one, though, do a lot of research. Check out some of these channels and check out the negative the negative aspects to that life. There are some that have to put out the good positive aspects too. So check them all out. Figure out what you like, what you want to do, if you even want to do it. All right. And so we're going to wrap this up a little bit early. Tomorrow morning at 11 Eastern, we'll be working. I'll be doing the on the channel here. I'll be finishing up chapter 1 of Against the Wind, book 2, Running Against the Wind. We'll finish up chapter 1 and start on chapter 2. And exactly, Jack, exactly. And so anyway, so I'll be starting that, reading that. And I did 3 hours today, going through, did a lot of editing on the book 2. And so we're going to be going through that. Wednesday, we'll be doing chapter 2. No, Wednesday, tomorrow, is finishing chapter 1, doing chapter 2. Wednesday night, Tappas Creek Homestead is interviewing me for part 2 of the interview. And that is at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Tappas Creek Homestead. Thursday morning will be a continuing chapter 2, edit and review. Thursday night is the midnight ride at 10 p.m. Eastern. Friday morning will be continuing chapter 2, because chapter 2 is a big, long chapter. And I've actually thought about splitting it up, but everything is just going the way it is on the books. So we'll continue chapter 2 on Friday night on the homestead on Camp Patton is, come on, brain work. Let me look at the heck. Great, it closed down that. Dang it. Live stream topics. There we go. Yeah, when I switched back from the power station, when the power was out here, I put all the computers on the power station, brought them back up, doing all stuff to get them to go again. When I switched the one laptop here over, it dropped out the come on, bring it up. Come on, why is it playing? Doing a pain in the butt thing here. Oh, great. Okay, now I got to find it. Let me see this thing here, see if I can get it to do it. Come on. I hate it when sometimes Microsoft likes to minimize a window for no apparent reason whenever there's a problem with the computer and you can't find it, tries to hide it behind everything else. Okay. Dang. So let me try it again this way. Shoot. Let's see if they put it on it would move it to the other screen. Yeah, it did. It moved it over to another screen. Okay, let's go back here. And of course it left everything weird here. I'm gonna have to do some work on this, but let's begin. Okay, so Friday is grow indoors. We're gonna talk about growing food and vegetables and fruit trees indoors. We'll be working on, I believe, chapter 3 in the morning. Then Shadow Scouts Swedes live stream from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern. Then for Survival Saturday, it's after the insect invasion. What are your plans? Monday on Camp Patton is canning lamb. We'll talk about the various ways of canning lamb with Tammy and Mark. And then next Tuesday for Tactical Tuesday, bugging in mistakes, aka shelter-in-place mistakes that people make. All right, so that's what's coming up here. Thank you all for coming by. And if you have any suggestions for topics, email me at the Camp Patton Family Compound at gmail.com email, and I will add your suggestions if they're not already in there on the schedule to the schedule. All right, everyone. Thanks for coming around, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow morning if you're up that early. It'll be 11 o'clock Eastern, so for editing book 2, finishing chapter 1. All right. See you later, guys.